By golly, this might work. Well, my little standing water lake has gone down quite a bit over the last week or two, but there's still a fair amount of water in here, and my concern is the mosquitoes. So I had this idea. I decided that I would go and buy a dozen fathead minnows, and I would dump them into the standing water, and hopefully they will eat all of the mosquito larvae, maybe other insects too that are not beneficial. And when the water does dry up, the raccoons will have a little minnow snack. For $3.50 for a bag of minnows, I think it's worth a shot. I was going to try to save them until tomorrow for fishing, but I don't have an aerator here, and half of them are already dead already, so at this point I have nothing to lose. So here we go. Let's see if they like their new home. But there are some that are swimming away, so that's good. Yeah, there are some definite survivors. Muddying up the water. All right, well, we just got back from town and I got 2 more scoops of fathead minnows. I checked the pond this morning and the only dead minnows were the ones that were dead because I left them in the truck too long yesterday. So the ones I put in here appear to have lived through the night. So we're gonna go out on a limb. We're gonna spend $7 and see if this is gonna knock these mosquito down. When you look in the water, it is just solid mosquito larvae. It is going to be, if they hatch, it's going to be miserable. Luckily, the water is receding, but it still could be a couple weeks before it's gone completely, and that's enough time for the mosquitoes to hatch. So we're gonna seed the waters. The goofball went and got a log out of the water, and he's carrying the log back to the yard. Jeez. Unfortunately, I had to waste the morning running to town to get supplies, but what I have in this bag is going to be pretty exciting for the little tiny cabin. So my marine pump finally came. And if I figured this out right, by the end of tonight, we should be able to turn the water on the sink and have running water come out of the faucet, which would be really nice for washing dishes, cooking, everything. But first things first, we're gonna get those saws fueled up and sharpened, and we're gonna start tackling these trees. And when we get this one down, we're gonna shoot down that other one. Finally brought the 12 gauge. We're gonna see if the theory works. We'll find out together. those of you that have been around the channel for a while, you know that this widowmaker hinged break off here has presented a problem for me to cut the tree down. And today I finally cut the tree down in front of it, so now I'm ready to work on this one. The problem is I have not been able to break that hinge off, but somebody recommended I try a shotgun. So it looks like there's that hinge that's folded over. It looks like that is a binding point, and then right in front, but I don't think I'm going to be able to break through that. So I think what I'm going to try to do is hit that top hinge. I know it sounds a little redneck-ish, and I really feel like I should say, like, here, hold my beer, watch this. But, I mean, I got nothing to lose. If it works, then I'll be a genius. But it's another hero or zero situation for today. The tip that was passed on to me by one of the commenters was to take my 12 gauge shotgun, and this is my deer shotgun, which means it has a rifled barrel rather than just a smooth bore, and to try to shoot the hinges that are holding back the tree. So I've got a pocket full of loose shotgun shells, and we're going to see if this works at all. And just so you know, there is nothing in the area where I am aiming or shooting towards. So just so you know, I'm doing this safely. And I'm a little bit concerned about what YouTube's going to say about this, but we're going to give it a shot. I may have to edit this out of the video. By golly, this might work. Oh, that one stung. Oh. I wonder if buckshot would help. All right, I got 5 shells left. See what happens. All right, we're out. Is that only 4? I only have 4 left. All right. So much for that theory. River, go to the van. Go to the truck. River, go to the truck. River, go to the truck. Go to the truck. Good boy. Obviously that's not going to work. I was just picking up the empty brass, and one thing I didn't even notice, I didn't even pay attention, is I shot an old paper cartridge. It was mixed in with my supplies. I would guess, when were paper cartridges last made? In the 60s? 50s? Probably 60s, I would guess, huh? I'm not sure, I'm just guessing. So that means I just shot a 60-year-old 12 gauge slug. Whew. All right, well, we're back to doing what I really didn't want to do. So pulling it over did not work. Shooting it down did not work. Pulling it over after shooting it down did not work. So we're basically back to cutting it down. The only thing that I can be sure of is it's not going to fall on top of me while I'm sawing. Because if I couldn't pull that thing over with the four-wheeler, it's not going to fall over when I'm cutting. So my thought is, my only concern is it's a little bit of a wild card now because there's a counterbalance against the natural lean, which means typically it would fall right in line with that other log that's on the ground. But with that extra counterbalance being up high, it now is pulling it back over me while I'm sawing. So I'm a little bit concerned with that, and I don't know how much tension is left in the trunk. And as soon as I start cutting, is that just going to be weakening the one part that's holding this puzzle all together? But we're just going to have to be careful and go slow, and as soon as we sense movement, get out of there, reevaluate, use some wedges, and go from there. Wish me luck, because I'm going to need it. I get free compost from my local landfill, which gives me unlimited access to some really, really nice black dirt. I'm happy to say that I started every single one of my plants from seed this year. Except for 3. I bought 3 specialty peppers. I bought a Trinidad Scorpion, a Ghost chili, and some hot chocolate chili that I've never tried before. So I'm interested to see how those go. I put 35 tomatoes and about 35 peppers in my garden at the River House. The River House will always be my main preserving garden. So I do want to make a few gardens here, and that's what I'm going to do. That's why I chopped down that tree. But I'm thinking more for the gardens that are here, I want stuff that is easy, that can take care of itself. Things like asparagus, blueberries, raspberries, horseradish, and then have my herb gardens and a nominal amount of like vegetables, of course. But like I said, my main preserving garden is the River House, just because that is an established bed, and with the river access, I have unlimited water resources, and it makes more sense. I do get a little bit longer growing season there, just a couple weeks on the front and a couple weeks on the back, but it does seem to make a difference overall. So. After sleeping on it last night, I decided I'm going to give it one last try. So my concern yesterday was the fulcrum point. So what I decided to do was I hooked it back up to the four-wheeler and I put some tension on it just so that it can't fall the wrong way on top of me. And hopefully it even helps pull it that way a little bit. We'll see. All right, so my thought is I'm going to snap a couple wedges in here, give it a couple whacks, or maybe just try to pull it with the four-wheeler now. I've only got maybe 3 inches of hinge, so just any more cutting she'll go, but I'd rather not be underneath it if I don't have to when it goes. So I'm going to try the four-wheeler real quick, and if that doesn't work, we're going to the wedges. Shoot, we're gonna have to cut it some more. I think it's too, I could try a wedge quick maybe. Okay, now we're in trouble because I'm running out of options here. My wedges will be stuck. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. We're worse off than we were before. Uh-oh, now what are we going to do? We've got ourselves a predicament. A predicament. A predicament by time. We're just going to have to pull on that till it comes down. Huh, not good. You know, I drove my four-wheeler underneath here to get it repositioned, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies driving underneath there. I mean, what's the chances it would fall right at the moment I was driving under it? But I tell you what, it was a weird feeling. So we got to dig some more. Well, that was a disaster. That is how you do not cut trees down. Whew. I said I was going to take a river to the lake when we got that down, but seems to be we have a little problem with access at this point, so we should probably get busy and get on that. Then we'll go to the lake. I will catch you guys when that tree is gone. I've got just this last log here to slice up, but other than that, it's all chopped up. And I ran out of gas, so I figured it was a good time to stop and take a break. It's pretty warm. All right, let's get on this. We're gonna grab some water, let the saw cool down, and start loading up the pieces. Tell you what, had enough logs for the day. Slug from one of the shotgun shells I shot. I should start a little scrapbook of little mementos from experiences here. I could title this one, "Remember that time we tried to shoot down a tree and thought it would actually maybe work?" Oh well, live and learn, right? Well, good morning. Thought you were going to sleep in all day. This morning the old RD and I, well, mostly me, speaking of sleeping in, are trying to clear out this small section of woods here by the cabin. The ultimate plan is to thin it out and put some gardens in here. But the light is starting to come on that might not happen this year. Lucky for me, I've got my main garden at the river house, which is going to be more than I'll need for preserving this year, but I really wanted to do it here. But as I continue to establish the weekend homestead here, all those improvements will just come a little bit at a time. I don't quite know in my mind what I want to do here. I was going to put a couple raised beds and maybe some in-ground gardens, mostly for root crops and things that would last through the year for stocking up. Onions, garlic, potatoes, beets, squash, pumpkins, things like that. And then some fresh things to use just during the summer. You know, tomatoes and peppers and things you want for salads and meals. So that's what I'm doing right now. We're just working on that, and it's already warming up for the day. Later today we're going to head back to the river house. My daughter and I are going to Missouri to see some family. So we're going to make the drive down south for a few days. Then we'll be right back up here for probably a couple weeks. Anyway, I'm just going to load up some of this brush. And last night I spent burning a lot of that brush pile that we made from dropping those trees yesterday. So if you guys are tired of watching me cut logs down in this video, then you'll be super excited to find out we're going to have 45 minutes of splitting wood next video. No, I'm just kidding. I won't make it that painful for you, but... Alright, well, I got to get back to work. Trying to clear out the woods is a never-ending job. Little by little, we make progress. Goodbye, tiny cabin. We will see you soon. And thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.